thank you. Thank you. Boy, it's going to be tonight. I mean, it's going to be anywhere tonight, really. I mean, everything I've done, I've been cancelled so many times. I've really been cancelled. Everywhere I've been cancelled. Do you know what I mean? I mean, thank you. I'm just really glad to be here. Because I don't know about you lot. But basically, I feel like you can't say nothing nowadays. You can't nothing nowadays. You can't say nothing. No, it's true. I mean, you can say a few things. I mean, you can say you can't say nothing nowadays. You can say that, I'll do say it's true. You can't say nothing nowadays. It's true. Nothing nowadays. Nothing. That's going to be in my book. And a tattoo of you. And I'll put it on my tombstone as well. All three are going to say you can't say nothing nowadays. Until they say you can't say that nowadays, and then they'll just say a book, a tattoo, he died. But it's true, I know you can't say nothing nowadays. I'm a comedian, and I know it's like to be cancelled. And let me tell you a story. About 2 years ago, I'm doing a gig. It's a charity gig, a benefit gig for nurses on strike. Right? So I come out there, my first joke, come out, my first joke, I say, hey, what's with you lazy cunts? Give up some of your cancel. And shit cancelled. Couldn't play for the one nurses no more. Cancelled. So 2 days later, I've got another gig. This time for Parkinson's people. Right? So I come out there, first joke, come out there, the Parkinson's people, yeah. First joke, come out there, first joke, come out there. I said, cool. I love Back to the Future. Can I get all yours autographs? I didn't know there were so many Michael J. Foxes. That's it, cancelled. Couldn't play for the Foxes people no more. Cancelled because you can't say nothing nowadays. It's true. It's true. Now, 2 days later, I had another gig. I don't know how I got this gig. I don't know why I got this gig. But I was invited to do a private birthday party for none other than Mr. Sir Paul McCartney of the Beatles. So I come out there, my first joke, come on, Mr. Paul McCartney, I'm a big fan of your music. In fact, my favourite song of yours is Golden Slumbers. But I can't help wonder, Mr. McCartney, if things might have gone differently, if instead of singing Golden Slumbers fill your eyes, you know, pull down my trousers, pull up the cock, piss in his face, and say, Golden Showers fill your eyes! Cancel. Cancel. Couldn't play for Paul McCartney no more. So, I kept getting cancelled and cancelled and cancelled and cancelled, and I was just about to throw in the towel. And all of a sudden I hang about, that's the same towel that Paul McCartney used to wipe the urine off the face. I'm going to sell it on eBay. So, I've been living off that money for the past, I'll say 3 years. And I was, because you don't know these days, it's somewhere with the chickens when you get all snowflaked. And I was running out of money, and I was getting a bit nervous, and all of a sudden I got a little ding-dong on the telephone. Hello? Hello, is that Lee? Lee Bartram, the working class comedian who's been cancelled by the woke police? Yeah? Who's this, the what police? No, my name is Simon Slimer. And I write sketches and her working class sister, son. Sun News with Dan Wooten. Hello, I'm Dan Wooten. A person is accusing a person at the BBC of doing something involving sex that may or may not be legal. More has more. Thank you, Dan. I'm standing in front of the BBC, where earlier today the BBC said that although they do know the person who works for the BBC that's being accused by a person of doing something involving sex that may or may not be illegal, they do not know the person who's accusing the person at the BBC of doing something involving sex which may or may not be illegal. However, earlier today a second person came forward that's also accusing the person who works at the BBC of doing something involving sex which may or may not be illegal. The BBC do know this person, but they don't know the person the Sun knows, the first person. It's all a bit mad! We spoke to the mother-daughter of the boy-girl, and here's what they had to say about their son-daughter. Very happy and sad about the tragic news of this wonderful situation. If all this seems a little short on details, I haven't done my job as a reporter. I've been compromised. But luckily, my aunt died today and left me a large portion of her estate, so I'm finally rich enough to tell the truth. The journalistic class in this country is made up of buggery, blackmail, am I right? And and we've just lost more. Joining us once again, two people are accusing a person of doing something. We'll have more on the story of two people and a person after this. Person, my thing is doing that thing again. Why did this have to happen on the night of my event? Don't worry, person, I brought along brand names. Because I'm a person, when something happens to the other person, I'm always prepared with brand name. Studies show brand name contains more ingredients than other brand name and other brand name combined. And that's the sort of brand name quality I've come to trust. Brand name for all your brand name needs. And we're back on Sun News with Dan Wooten. Once again, in the light of the two people accusing a person of doing something, many criticisms and accusations are flying fast and furious on social media, with many online pundits accusing some of the nation's most well-known and beloved paedophiles of having worked for the BBC. This is a ridiculous accusation. I have never worked for the BBC. This is a scandalous accusation, which I think is a very cynical and callous attempt to take the focus off my pedophilia. I ask that you respect my rights and my victim's rights and leave us to it. Thank you very much. And this just in from the Met Office, the identities of the two people who are accusing the other person has been revealed to be me. Dan Wooten. I know what this is. This is a witch hunt because I'm being persecuted because I speak out. This is about free speech wokeness. It's about they are jealous of me. I have ADHD, depression, that's good too, bipolar, addicted to video games. What else? Oh, the guy who's doing this, I went to eat with him, and he's a quote psychopath. He really hates quotes, so don't say any quotes. Don't say like "off the raven nevermore" or "you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off." Ballistic. And what is it, Tanya? The police are outside. The woke police or the real police? The real police. Oh my God. Okay, let's go to Plan B. The Sun is not actually a television station, so let's just turn ourselves back into a newspaper and hide out in a cafe.
Oh, that's nice. Someone left a copy of The Sun. Hello, Maud. I'll have 2 baked beans on bovril with a bit of tin tomato toast. Well, what's happening in The Sun? Oh, look what's happening in California. Oh, you can't say nothing nowadays. Horoscope, you are a dizzy old cunt that sits in cafes and reads The Sun. Very perceptive. Last page.
Thank you for reading The Sun. Sun. Lee, are you still there? It's Simon. Anyway, I've recently written a series of articles in which I decry the fact that working class, what is the word, people are finding it increasingly difficult to shout "Packy" at the top of their lungs. Who are you again? Simon. I'm also a GB news presenter. You might have seen my show where I count the number of black people in Tesco's holiday adverts. What do you do? I work for MI5, it's not important. I just want to say I think it's a shame and a travesty that the working classes have been betrayed by the people who supposedly love them. You see, we Tories have always had a soft spot for the working classes. Come election time, there isn't a Tory I know that doesn't fancy a bit of working class rough trade. I know a few things about the working classes. I've worked with the working classes. And no, that's not right. I'm a journalist. I must get the prepositions right. I've not worked with the working classes. The working classes have worked for me. And I'd like you to work for me. How would you fancy doing a show in Oxford? Oxford? Do you mean the funky place? That's right, the funky place. I think you'll like it. You won't be cancelled. You meet a lot of allies in the war for free speech. There'll be a fee, of course, and food and drinks are provided, but you might want to bring your soul. So there was me giving a play, Oxford. You haven't gone so far? It's me, the first character. I'm back. So anyway, after that long meandering snake of a bit there, so finally I was being invited to play Oxford. Now, I know this might be a little bit difficult to believe, but it was the first time I was finally being treated like the intellectual I've always been. And now I was in Oxford, the land of Shakespeare, and Katie Hopkins and Tommy Robertson, and all the illustrious figures that have spoken at the Oxford Union in recent times. And there I was, getting ready to do my show, and I came out. The first thing I said when I came out, I didn't say a joke, because it was very serious there, very intellectual crowd in Oxford, a lot of them dressed like Scientologists, and I came out, very first, I didn't do a joke, I just came out very serious. I said, you can't say nothing now. And they all applauded, and I said, I'm not going to be yet, just wait for me to do something. I said, let me back up and start again. You can't say nothing nowadays. And they say, oh, you should be Prime Minister. Oh, a voice of reason in our insane times. I said, shut the fuck up and let me tell you something. I said, you know, I've noticed something since I've been in Oxford, meeting all you anti-woke people, talking about Voltaire and free speech. Do you know what I realised about all you Oxford people? You're all gay! You're not just any kind of gay. You're Etonian gay. You're the kind of gay that gets married and has children and gets a job for the BBC for 20 fucking years, and then comes out of the closet and blames it on ADHD. And I've got to pay for it all with my fucking taxes. No, doing poppers with Red Boys in Soho wasn't enough for you lot. You had to start a fucking culture war. This is you lot. Tory money goes up your arse, Tory propaganda comes out your mouth, up your arse, out your mouth. And you know what they did? They say, you can't say that. I said, oh no, you can't say nothing nowadays.